Welcome to Pop Culture Retro, which was recently voted the 15th best podcast by the residents of the Golden Years Retirement Community in Boca Raton, Florida. Each show, we'll revisit some of your favorite pop culture memories with insider and outsider perspectives. Now, please help me welcome your hosts, Ike Eisenmann and Jonathan Rosen.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Pop Culture Retro. I'm one of your hosts, Jonathan Rosen, along with the bringer of joy and cheer for the holiday season, Ike Eisenmann. Ike, how are you today?
I'm doing good. It's like I look forward to doing these shows now just to hear how you introduce me, because it's like good. If I bring a little joy and cheer to anybody's life, it's a good day.
You've got a lot of comments on the YouTube thing. I don't know if you've been seeing that, but you've got a lot of comments directed directly to you.
Oh, you know what? I haven't looked at the comments lately. So after we do this, I will go back and check them out. But yeah, thank you to everybody who is commenting, and especially our subscribers, because our numbers are steadily growing. We're super excited. And if you're watching this for the first time, please subscribe to us so you can get, all the latest notifications about what these two crazy guys are up to.
Well, today I'm excited. We decided we were doing something for the holidays, our holiday movie, what we watch, holiday movie TV show list. We were originally going to do just the Peanuts, which was good. We love the Peanuts holiday specials. So we opened it up now to just a lot of the holiday movies. We can include that. I want to ask you, have you always been like celebrating? You like really get into celebrating the holidays and everything?
I think I do now. I definitely do now. Later in life, I've gotten much more into it. During my earlier days, I would decorate sometimes, and then sometimes I wouldn't. I always seemed like I had a tree, at least inside the house.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, as a kid growing up.
Yeah. Oh, growing up, we did. We very much celebrated. Yeah. But it's like, God, I couldn't even remember or tell you like how far in advance, like maybe a week or two, we'd put up the tree beforehand, not like this, this whole full month-long thing day after Thanksgiving that we enjoy now. But yeah, we did celebrate it, and it was a lot of fun. It really was some of the more fun times.
Now you do again as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I haven't posted any pictures yet. I don't know if I'm going to, but we really. Oh,
you got to now that you.
I know. I'm stuck. We really do it up big here, and I only take responsibility for helping as the assistant. My wife has created and designed all this stuff, and like the entire inside of the house is done. And we have a major light setup, decoration setup outside, very traditional looking, but and not excessive. It's just we've got a large frontage on the house, and so a lot of space to work with. And Tia designed this whole thing for these absolutely beautiful decorations. And we have where we live, we've got a Christmas decoration contest every year, and they choose different categories, and she seems to keep winning for the best traditional decoration. So
they have competitions over there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, they actually have one called the Griswold, which is of course the most over decorated house, and there's the traditional one, and a variety of them. The holiday decorating is a very, very big deal in this area, and so we have a lot of fun doing it. We start very early and get it going, and it took, not 4 full days, but 4 days for us to complete our entire package. So yeah.
I got to believe that the person who wins the Griswold is not that upset about it either.
No, they go for it. They really do go for it. There was this one house. We have areas of our community called that are estate homes. They're huge custom homes that are massive. And this one house, just, top to bottom, the entire yard is covered with stuff. The fencing out front, everywhere, just everything. You could barely walk through it if you wanted to. and it also draws a lot of traffic. So, but we have a lot of people that participate, which makes it nice. And this year seems to be especially true because, everyone just so badly wants to get out, and do stuff and have some fun after being cooped up for so long. So there's a lot more people decorating now. How about your neck of the woods?
In that little, I guess, area here, there are lights up, but I mean, no one goes really fancy. We do go driving around to like different areas that are known for, putting up like, tremendous displays and really extravagant things. So we will go around and look at all the homes that do that. As for us, I mean, we don't celebrate Christmas, but we have a string for Hanukkah out there in the front now. We didn't always do that, but the kids wanted to do that now. So the past couple of years, but I love looking at them. I do love looking at the lights. I think it's festive. And, like I said, even though we don't celebrate Christmas, it's Hanukkah. I love this time of year. I just love it. I love seeing all the lights. I love seeing, there's a different feeling in the air. There really is. And, and I love, like we're going to be talking about, I love the movies and TV shows. I look forward to them every year. The favorites, I won't watch them during the rest of the year. I will stay and watch them end of November, early, into December. The same movies every single year. And I've been doing that every night. I've been watching a different movie on my list. I think so. Let's start with the Peanuts ones, because you brought it up and I thought it was a good idea. I don't know if we could sustain the whole episode with the Peanuts things. We probably could, but I just watched the Thanksgiving one again, last Thursday night on Thanksgiving, and I still love it so much.
Oh gosh, yeah.
It brings you right back to being a kid.
Oh, totally. And I grew up with them. Of course you did too. And it's really hard to believe that, like, the first ones, were produced back in 1965. I think
the Christmas one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the Christmas one. So they started in 65 and were made through the 70s, and I think even some into the 80s. But the Thanksgiving one always has fascinated me, because even as a kid, it educated me more about, how this country was, settled than actually I learned in school. And I think one of the things that cracks me up about it is it's got so many gory details about how many people died from, basic diseases and how many made it in the Mayflower and the ships coming over and how many didn't. And it's kind of terrifying. At the same time, it's amazing and entertaining and really enjoyable to watch. So yeah.
It's just, I mean, the endings, I just love the ending to it. Everything.
Yeah.
I love everyone just getting together. I love all the friends getting together there. It is very sweet. I got to ask you now, when we were talking about this episode, I just have to ask now, you're looking at your IMDb, you have so many credits. Have you ever been in like a holiday special of anything, on TV shows like appeared?
Oh, no, but I did audition for a couple of the Peanuts show specials.
Oh, wow.
And I think I realized I was looking at those, to get the dates on them to bring this point up. I think there was one in 1973, so I would have auditioned in 1972, because I remember auditioning for at least two. And being that overly enthusiastic actor that wanted to get everything, I worked really hard on those auditions, because I just thought, gosh, this would really be fun to be a part of them, because I loved watching them. But I didn't have I think I was too much of an actor per se. There's a style of young performers that they chose for those that are just unique and awesome. And I think I read something recently that some of the early ones, the kids they cast were so young, they didn't even know the words they were saying or how to perform.
I believe that.
The director just gave them line readings, which they then copied, and they pieced together the shows from that, which can be done. I've done that with other young performers in certain situations, but I have not. No. I can't think. No particular holiday special of any kind. Yeah, no.
Well, what's the one thing that have to watch every year? Like, let's go with the TV shows. Did you watch the Peanuts ones again now yet or no?
I didn't watch them again this year, only because we switched gears on what we were doing for the show today. I was going to watch all of them over the weekend. But we watched, we watched The Great Pumpkin. I think I'm not sure if we watched it this year, come to think of it. And not that I'm complaining, because this is the way things work, but they're all on Apple Plus now, which I'm not a subscriber to. So I was going to have to do the, steal it for free for a month to watch the specials and then consume whenever I could before I canceled my trial. But no, I haven't done that yet. We probably will, because I think we love The Great Pumpkin. We love Thanksgiving, and the Christmas one is just,
I watched the Christmas one. I will get to the Christmas one as well. You know which one I did love? TV show. I'm going to go to TV shows before we switch into gears into movies.
Sure.
The Married with Children one, the Christmas one. I don't know if you've seen they did the thing on It's a Wonderful Life. And
no, I have not.
Okay, that's, to me, that was the funniest one, just because they did the It's a Wonderful Life thing, and it showed him how much better their lives would be if he wasn't in it. If Al Bundy wasn't in it.
Of course.
Right. And that gave him the desire not to let that happen. That made him want to live. Because he hated that they were enjoying life so much without him.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. I'm going to have to catch it.
That was always been one of my favorite episodes. Yeah. But as far as movies, let's see, in the past, since Thursday night, let me see how many movies I've gone down here of my holiday ones that I watch every year. It's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I do that every year on Thanksgiving. the Night Before, which is another, one with Seth Rogen. I don't know if you've seen that. Then, of course, Die Hard, another. Oh, yeah. Because that's a Christmas movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've started to make that a tradition now. We watched it right after Thanksgiving. I just said, this is going to be our ease into the whole holiday season. We're going to watch Die Hard because it is a Christmas movie, but it's not a Christmas movie. And Tia agrees. She actually enjoys it, which is awesome. It's such a good movie, but it's so funny how you call it a Christmas movie, because it just, all this mayhem happened to occur around Christmas, and they just keep talking about it. So it makes it a Christmas movie.
To me, it's a Christmas movie. I posted the other day, I will die on that hill. I will fight anyone that says it's not. What else? Gremlins, Office Christmas Party, Elf.
Yeah, Gremlins. I forget about that. I've not seen Gremlins in a really long time, so it's not on my list of
right on Christmas.
Okay.
Right now, I'm on Disney Plus. I'm watching just because I love this movie, and probably not a lot of people have seen it. Is Full Court Miracle. It's the one Hanukkah movie that's out there.
Oh wow!
It's such a sweet movie on, like I said, on Disney Plus. And it's, playing basketball, and it goes through the whole story, modern times, that the generator's only lasting for a certain amount of time, only enough like oil in the generator, but it lasts longer. So I love this movie. And I've reached out to the star. I've tried to reach, and I have not reached out. I'm trying to reach out to, I don't know if you remember Alex D. Linz. Alex Linz was in so many movies, and he stopped making them. He's disappeared, and I can't find anything for how to reach this kid. He's not a kid anymore, but how to reach him. I'd love to have him on the show, but I can't find anything. So if anyone knows any information, please reach out. But I love the kid. You got to see this movie.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely.
So what's your go-to every year?
Well, now it's Die Hard, and it's funny because we kind of do these in an order, and we build up to like our ultimate favorites the closer to Christmas, saving it closer to the day. But
Same.
Yeah. Starting with Die Hard, White Christmas. We just tried to watch it Saturday night, but then I fell asleep after the first half an hour, 45 minutes. And then we finished it last night. That's one of the classics that we enjoy. The Santa Claus movies with Tim Allen.
I love those too.
Yeah, I think those are really, I like any telling of the stories, but then we get caught up in the classics that we know and love and grew up with. But I think to actually come up with, you know, a new version of the mythology is just always it's a challenge, first of all. But when you do it, and you do it as well as that one did, because I just thought that series was incredibly clever. Primarily the first one. The second and third one, I'm always like that. I like the origin stories more than I can tolerate the sequels. But those are fun to watch. Of course, I got Charlie Brown Christmas here. The Grinch, the live action. We like the animated and the live action. I really, and it kind of took me a while to let for the live action one to grow on me, because I don't know. At first I thought it was too stylized and kind of hard to watch in a way, but I just am riveted by Jim Carrey and his ability to play through that makeup the way in which he did. I just thought it was fantastic. So
I'm still not there. It's one of my must lists. I do watch the animated one, but I'm not at the Grinch one. I don't even have it on my list for this year. So,
oh wow! So you have you not seen it? Or
I've seen it, but it just never struck me as one of the things that I need to watch again. Yeah. I might have to revisit it. Maybe probably because I still have the same perception as you the first time that I liked it. I just didn't love it, so it's not on my must list. But
I can't say we love it, and I like it more than Tia does. And this was another thing that we did. We had a conversation about all these Christmas movies, and she finally revealed to me the ones that she just doesn't like at all, that I insist on watching.
Oh, which one doesn't she like?
Yeah, the Christmas Vacation she doesn't like.
I do like that.
And my number one pick that I'm going to save for a little bit later, but we, and Elf is a huge one in this house.
I love Elf. I can't get enough. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, again, a retelling of the mythology in a way that's just, it's just outstanding. And then we've got the Miracle on 34th Street films.
Also, I don't know if you've seen on Netflix the series, The Movies That Made Us.
I have not. I have watched a couple of them, but not that many, and I keep trying to catch up with that because I think it's a great series.
They have Elf on there, and Home Alone is on there as well. So
yeah, we saw the Home Alone one. We saw that one and Ghostbusters. So those two, but I didn't know Elf was on there, so we'll have to check that out.
Yeah. No, it's really. I like I said, I just watched Elf right before. I'm in the middle of Full Court Miracle now. I watched Elf right before this. So again, it's fresh in my mind. I can't explain how much I love that movie. I can't reiterate enough how much I do enjoy that movie. So,
oh God, me too. I mean, yeah, and Jon Favreau is like one of my favorite directors of all time. And every time he touches something, it's completely elevated. And this is totally off subject, but have you seen Chef?
Yes, I've seen Chef. Film. I like the film very much, and I also like the series that he did also on Netflix. He has like this mini that he has a different person in each episode, that's like either a celebrity or someone that they're cooking different things, and I am enjoying that as well.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know about that. See, it's so funny. Netflix is so tough for me because I have to get recommendations from people to watch things, because sometimes if I just see the description up there and I'm not familiar with it, it doesn't draw me in. So if
you like the movie Chef, go watch this. This was good as well. Now, what about the classics? What about the It's a Wonderful Life and Christmas Story? And I have different feelings on those as well.
Oh yeah, well, It's a Wonderful Life is probably our mutual number one. That's the one we kind of save for like Christmas Eve or a couple days before Christmas, because that's really the one that we put up as our champion. But yeah, Miracle on 34th Street, both the 47 version and the remake, we enjoy both of them. They're both, and it's amazing to me how much the remake truly did follow that story each time it's told, and it's been told more than I realized when I looked it up, because there was a TV version and there's maybe two or three other versions in between all of those. But
the TV version
the
was Marlo
94
Thomas, no?
Sorry?
The TV version was Marlo Thomas?
You know what? That sounds familiar. I think you're right.
I think so.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you know what? We tried to watch that because it was running. It was on one year, a couple years ago, and we did not make it through it. It was.
Really? I've only watched it one time when it was on originally. That's it.
No, it did not quite work. But yeah, It's a Wonderful Life is like the top one. There's also The Holiday that we enjoy with Kate Winslet.
Okay, I've not seen that. I've never seen that movie.
Actually, it's so funny because it reminds me a bit of, when you've got on the wallpaper behind you, Love Actually, because it follows several characters and two different storylines that cross over because of two people who decide to swap houses for the holidays. So
I think I've read the description of it, right?
Yeah, so they both get a vacation, they swap houses, and then encounter all these characters, and it's really good. It's really, really good. Feel good romantic comedy. It's one of those romantic comedies that's actually really enjoyable to watch and very funny and very human at the same time. Jack Black is in it, and he's fantastic.
I love Jack Black.
Yeah, Jude Law, Cameron Diaz. So it's a great cast, and it's kind of a Hollywood movie in a way because Cameron Diaz plays a trailer editor, and very successful trailer editor, and they do these fantastic, just like cheap cinematic tricks where every time she runs into an emotional situation in her real life, you hear the famous voiceover actor who used to do I don't think it was Don LaFontaine, it might have been Don LaFontaine, who used to do every single narration for every movie trailer that ever came out, and he ends up commenting about her life in the objective view as she's going through certain situations. It's just really, it's very, very well written, really lovely film. I highly recommend it.
I'll go to I haven't seen that, but like I said, I'll go to It's a Wonderful Life and A Christmas Story. They're classics, and I love both films. I don't watch them both every year. It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah. It's been like, I think several years since I've seen. I got to, no, you know what? I watched last year. I got to interview, Jimmy Hawkins, who was one of the kids in that movie. So I got to interview him and to talk about it. So I did watch it again then. I do love the movie. It's just not one that I revisit every year. I think this is probably so ingrained in my mind. Not that the others aren't, but it's just not the go-tos anymore. When I was younger, now I go to the romantic comedies, I guess, the ones. And I'll say this, it can also be so depressing a time too. I mean, everyone loves the holidays, but it can also be for some people such a depressing time when you see like your life is not like the ones on the screen or whatever. So it's tough. So I could see why people do get down in at the holiday time if they don't have certain things in their life. But these movies always like pick-me-ups. I always like getting those like joy, those instant things of joy for pick-me-ups.
I agree, and that is a really good point. And I think I don't know if everyone goes through it. Of course, I had periods of time in my life where this time of year was very difficult, and just not having the kind of connections you perhaps really want in your own life makes celebrating all of that or the absence of it very pronounced this time of year. So I get that. I've been through that myself. Of course, I'm in a much different place now. So this is just a really fantastic time for my wife and I to, enjoy our life and enjoy all this entertainment that's based around this. What I think I like about, what I like about, and that's what I'm going to bring up my absolute favorite. I just found out from Tia yesterday that she does not like it very much. Is The Bishop's Wife.
Good movie also. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've been watching that since I was a kid. It used to run on TV much more regularly, and it doesn't seem to quite, I don't know about other people's lists. So I would love to hear any comments from anyone out there who are running this down to see if it makes their list, because I truly think that is just one of the most beautiful, amazing, tragic stories that's kind of ever been told. And what I was leading into that I like about holiday stories is there's so much magic involved in them, or when there's that element of the magic of the mythology of the season, or the mythology of the stories, and how that gets interwoven with our human struggles, and how we, that need to believe in something that's not just right in front of us, that pulls us out of those difficult times and reminds us of how powerful magic is in our own lives, however it comes to us. And I think I love The Bishop's Wife so much because Cary Grant plays an angel, and he has these he does all these magical things, and they're super subtle, and the effects are really good for a 1950, or maybe it's 40s. Good gosh, you know what?
It might be 40s. I think it
must
is
be 40s for the 40s, and it was just so well done and not overdone and not blown up, because it isn't about that. but I that's just my absolute favorite, and I just found out that Tia does not care for it very much, but I insist on watching it every year, so she's going to have to watch it again. But she also made an observation, and this is just something that I've learned, that I tend to really gravitate towards anything that's a little bit darker than the mainstream. I love the mainstream stuff, but The Bishop's Wife is a bit of a dark story, because it's a tragic story about an angel who cannot fulfill this great, amazing connection he has to a live human being, because he's in a different plane, and it's inappropriate. He has an inappropriate friendship with this character, and then has to leave her. And it's just, oh my gosh, it's just gut-wrenching to me.
I just looked it up, 1947, by the way.
47. Okay. It's so funny, because it's like Miracle on 34th Street came out in 47, and it is kind of interesting when you see the clusters of movies that came out at the same time. Now, what year was It's a Wonderful Life? Because some of the young actors,
30s, isn't it?
I don't think so. Only because some of the same young actors who are in It's a Wonderful Life are also in The Bishop's Wife.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
No, you're right. 1946.
Yeah. Yeah. You can tell by these kids that they're almost practically the same age from one movie to the next. So I didn't think it would have been that far
too much sooner.
But yeah, it's and I, like you, I save these movies for this time of year. I won't watch them any other time, because that always seems odd to me. This Christmas in July thing, which I think is an interesting trend, and I'm sure it will catch on, because people just seem to really love and want to,
Well, that's the funny thing, isn't that? I got to look again. I'm looking it up now. Isn't that when Die Hard did come out originally?
Oh,
Die Hard came out in the summer. No, I mean, yeah, July 22nd it came out.
Okay, well, there you go. So there's a precedent for this. Yeah,
right.
Been established by the
I'll give one that I am sure you have not seen before I go into some of my favorites as well. And I loved it. I have to watch it again this year. I saw it for the first time last year. It's a British, and I love British humor. I love it. It's have you seen Get Santa?
Get Santa? No.
Yeah. Okay.
I've never heard of it.
Okay, you must. I don't know if you like British humor thing, but it's a sweet thing. It's, I think Santa is arrested because they think he's a kook and he's in jail, and all these like convicts have to help break him out so he can do Christmas. So he can do the Christmas one.
Okay, yeah, I gotta see it.
I'm gonna have to watch this again because I love anything British. I mean, you put me down, you tell me something's a British comedy, and I'm there. I'm sitting down. I don't care what it is. I'm sitting down. So, but I really enjoyed it. And and I can't even remember what his name is now. He's he's been in so many things. I know he was in Hot Fuzz. Oh, who played Santa now?
Oh, Simon?
No, not Simon.
He's in Hot Fuzz. Okay, no.
In Hot Fuzz. Let me see if I can find the actor who plays Santa. And he's a famous actor, and it's escaping my mind right now. Here it is. Jim Broadbent, who plays Santa. Okay. So he was a lot of fun in it. And I just enjoy the whole movie. But the ones that I do have to watch every single. I know we mentioned Home Alone a little bit, which I will get to also. But I have my whole like romantic comedy section that I watch every year. I've got to watch You've Got Mail. I've got to watch When Harry Met Sally because it's a New Year's one.
Yeah.
And where else? Serendipity, Scrooge.
Oh yeah.
And the one behind me, of course. Love Actually is probably my favorite. It's become my favorite now, and it's funny. I meet some people who either love it or people who absolutely hate it. I love it. It's my go-to movie every year now.
Yeah, I was going to say that because there are people who absolutely loathe it, and so many people that love it. We enjoy it. I can't say that I love it. I would choose not that I have to choose because you can see everything you want, but I would choose The Holiday over Love Actually. But they're very similar, in the fact that they're just really good. They're really good, feel good romantic comedies. I mean, they are. So no, I get it. I get it.
Well, to me, the Love Actually has the British thing that I go for, and there are parts in all of these where I'm just bawling. I'm just like the tears are coming down.
So we found your emotional button.
Yes,
I'm always talking about how I cry.
No, every single time during these holiday movies, because the holiday movies are not just the fun. They always have those parts in it that that, like I said before, that get depressing, and the characters facing down and something bad's happened, and so it hits me and I know what's coming, and I know the parts that are coming, and it still just gets to me.
Yeah, it's amazing when movies can do that, and that's a very special thing. And I'm not easily manipulated emotionally, but when these really solid classic films are effective like that, they get me every time too. And I think I'm a little more desensitized to them. It's a Wonderful Life and The Bishop's Wife, but man, I used to bawl at the end of those. Did when I was a kid. It carried well into my adulthood, but I think now I can get through them without actually shedding a boatload of tears.
Well, I think in a lot of these ones that I just met, I mean, I remember like even some of the people that I was with when I saw them in the theater, the friends or whatever. Yeah. So I do bring me back a lot of I do love a lot of the 80s ones and 90s early 90s things as well. But Love Actually came out like 2000. So, but it's, again, like I said, it is my must. And I save it for closer to actually Christmas or New Year's to save, because it's those times I have to, like you just said before, I have to watch them certain times. I can't watch them now early December. It's got to be mid-December or late December for some of these movies.
Sure. And I, like with When Harry Met Sally, I saved that for New Year's Eve or the night or before New Year's Eve, because I consider that a New Year's in my little group.
Absolutely, yes.
I consider that a New Year's movie. And
it is a New Year's movie. I agree, but it's like, to me,
and the holiday is kind of that way too. It takes place over the Christmas season, but it ends on New Year's, just like When Harry Met Sally ends on New Year's. So, and T even said to me she considers it more of a New Year's movie. So we'll probably do a double feature that movie night and watch the two of those together. But yeah,
my kids still haven't seen it. I still want them to see it.
When Harry Met Sally?
They've never seen it, my kids.
Oh my gosh! I'm sorry, just the greatest of all time.
Yes,
that's the goat. That's the goat of rom-coms.
I would think so. I do love that. I always go back and forth with which one I enjoy more. I do love When Harry Met Sally. I also do love You've Got Mail. I love that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's funny. Same writer,
yeah.
So you're really getting kind of a similar feel. But yeah, no, I enjoy You Got Mail also, but not something I would watch. I naturally watch during the holidays. We seem to bounce onto that at different times of the year. But there's one other movie, not a romantic comedy, that is really, I think, a very beautiful Christmas movie is Prancer. And I don't know if you've heard of it. Okay. I never would have watched it if my wife had not said, no, we've got to watch this movie, because I'd never really heard of it. But it is, it's a story about a young girl who, in a small, very small town during the middle of winter, during the Christmas season, ends up rescuing and caring for this injured reindeer that she just simply knows is part of Santa's group of reindeer. Right. And she just knows it's Prancer, and she has to help this thing get well, and there's all kinds of conflict in it between her and her father. I have a feeling I'd be bawling already with this movie. It's really good. And she's not young anymore because it's from 1989, but I mean, she's still young. But Rebecca Tickle is the actress who plays the girl, and she's just so good. And I mean, just so good, like intimidating good, just really wonderful. And Cloris Leachman's in it. She plays this crazy old kind of witchy, scary woman that ends up befriending the young girl. And though it's one of those heart-wrenching stories that
I'm not sure I could see this.
It just leaves you guessing throughout the whole thing, but it does give a wonderful magical payoff at the end. So it's definitely an honorable mention here. Yeah.
I'm going to have to look this up. I'm not sure I could go through heart-wrenching. Once you said that,
I get it.
Those are the movies I tend to avoid. What about? I was also looking. Trading Places is another one that I
guess it is. Yeah. See, it's like I was so looking forward to hearing what titles you came up with to see, where they fit in the scale. And I haven't seen Trading Places in a long time, and I that's just such a funny movie, such a funny movie.
The Christmas around it happens around Christmas time.
You're right. So. You know what, you're absolutely right.
And what about Scrooge? How often do you go see that?
Probably well, I don't know, we'll probably watch it again this year. I mean, I think it's hilarious. It's a great take on the on the Christmas Carol, what do you call it, legacy library of versions of that story, right along with the Muppets one, which I
do like the Muppets one.
I mean, my God, I just love that. Yeah, we just love that one. It's just awesome. But yeah, no, I like Scrooged, and I was thinking a lot. Lots of the comedies like Christmas Story, Bad Santa is one.
Oh, I do like Bad Santa. I really do.
Every few years, I have to indulge in it because it's just so, God, it's just so foul.
But that's what I like when you put those settings, when you twist something on its head. I enjoy those things.
Yeah.
When you make it like, when you turn like this whole thing, this wholesome thing into something not. I do enjoy that. I don't know if I put it up there as my the upper pantheon, but I do enjoy watching it every now and then. And how about, and I'll go through another one. I mentioned before, Serendipity.
Oh yeah, I like Serendipity. I haven't seen it in a while, so I'm actually, even as we're sitting here doing this, I'm writing down what I need to what I need to revisit or watch. So
I do love
Santa's
that movie.
On the list, Serendipity. Yeah,
I love it. It's so ludicrous, but I love it.
Yeah.
And I watch it also every year. But I think these are all the ones. I'm going to get to all of these during this year. I watch so many movies in December. It's sad. I watch really a movie a day of all these to get them all in.
Wow. I mean, that's just so impressive to me. I mean, you don't sleep. We haven't talked
No,
about that on this show. You really don't sleep, because I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't do that. I don't know how I couldn't work it into my schedule. It's not like I'm that busy, but geez, that's amazing. That's amazing. So good. Because your list, so you can have a lot of other titles I hope you'll share, because I think
I mentioned them. I just, like I said, some of them I've like I said, the past few days. Let me see. Just since Thursday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm on my 7th movie since almost Thursday. So,
gosh. Would you sit down and watch them, or do you have them like running on on a separate monitor while you're
I'll
working
say that
on
that's for the
something else?
most part. Yes, I have them running on I have 2 monitors here, so I have one monitor here on the side. I'll play TV shows or movies while I'm doing work here. So if I've not seen the movie, I have to pay more attention. If I've seen the movie, I can like follow along and still do things because I know the story so much.
Got it.
But the problem is, if I love the movie that much, I will focus too much on the movie instead of so much on the work I'm doing. So, but it's like I said, I save all these holiday movies for there. And we mentioned Home Alone. I posted about it on Facebook today. Have you seen the new one on Disney Plus?
No. Okay. The new one?
Yeah, they just made a new one for this year. Disney Plus. No. With one of the kids from Jojo Rabbit.
Ah, okay. No, not seen it. No,
it is god awful.
Oh, how am I not surprised?
It is so bad, and I read the reviews ahead of time that saying how bad it was, and I said, oh, you know what, I got to see for myself. And the reviews didn't lie this time. It's with one of the women from the Office, Ellie Kemper, who I like also, and it's just there's no real villain in the movie. That's the thing. It's both are it's the all the elaborate. It's a kid in the house, and all the elaborate traps are for someone, a good couple who needs something from the house they're trying to get into. It's like a big misunderstanding. So all the bad stuff is done to a nice couple. So just that takes a huge element out of the premise of the original.
Yeah. Wow.
So
yeah. Does not sound very good.
No, there's no one to root against, really. I mean, it's just, all the stuff that this kid is doing. And I saw something else in the original Home Alone that it's just funny because it's true that, Kevin from the original movie, he's a little psychopath, but I do. That's another one. Like I said, I will go watch the second one as well.
No, I enjoy it too. It's not on. Tia does not like it. I don't think I will make her watch that every year. But watching it over, I think we definitely watched it last year, and this last time I saw it, I really had developed a brand new appreciation for the really, really rigorous physical comedy that the stunt guy did. I read a story about him, and how I don't know what if he had long-term injuries from doing that movie or not, but he was a stunt guy that just has the ability to just throw himself up in the air and land on his back.
Oh.
You know, I mean, because you see some of those falls, those, I don't want to call them pratfalls, they're not really, but they are pratfalls. They're really violent. They're violent, and you can only, you know, I've done my share of, you don't want to call them stunts, but things that were, you know, where you could, you know, bump yourself and get injured, and you know, or you know, even falling down on the ground. They always supply you with knee pads and elbow pads, and there's usually, especially with kids, there's somebody there to make sure that, you know, you don't beat yourself up when you're doing something that's, you know, that's physical like that. But there's only so much padding you can put under, you know, under clothing to protect yourself from the kind of stuff this guy did. And it's really, to me, that's extraordinary. And
I agree.
It's, you know, it's certainly a reason to watch the movie, not the primary reason, but no, I really appreciate how, okay, just remind me, directed by Chris Columbus or not?
Yeah.
Written by Chris Columbus. He directed it.
Yeah.
I mean, he really brought back, you know, the Three Stooges in a huge way, which are some, you know, some short films or films that I haven't seen in a very long time either. But those films always fascinated me as a kid because, you know, they totally looked like they were beating the heck out of each other. And they did it very effectively. So that's just one of the things. But yeah, you're right. You know, Colin Culkin's character is he's a vicious little brat. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what his redeeming value is, because he's just evil.
Yes. I mean, yes, they were robbers, but he was kind of evil before then. But yes, but I enjoy the movie. Like I said, I'm going to watch it again now too, and I will watch the second one. I read that the brother is actually in the new one. He has a little cameo in the new one. I think Macaulay Culkin was supposed to be in it, and something fell through or whatever. But better that he didn't tarnish his legacy being in this.
Yeah, I guess not. Good call.
But I mean, I generally don't like a lot of the remakes anyway of things. You know, if something's so ingrained in your mind and they redo it, it usually doesn't come out as well. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I'm the same way. I'm not a fan of remakes. Usually, sometimes they work really well. I mean, sometimes they work really well. Like I said, Miracle on 34th Street. I can't speak today. The 1994 version is really, really lovely, really well made, and actually, what I liked about, you have to bring something new to it. You know, you have to. You have to, this is so hard to say, because what you want to do is capture what was already captured in a classic, you know, in a second movie. But with specifically Miracle on 34th Street, they came up with a different argument for why Santa Claus exists than was used in the first story. So it was almost like, ooh, that's interesting. It was a different twist on it. Of how, you know, how he's in court and his case is being made before the judge, and how I just thought it was very clever and a fun remake. But yeah, they're troublesome for me.
Nothing to do with Christmas movies now. You just reminded me, we've discussed this before briefly, but this is why I liked The Race to Witch Mountain, because it was a different way of doing things than the 90s remake of that movie.
Yeah, exactly. And when Andy Fickman, the director, kind of pitched it to me as if he needed to. I mean, Disney's doing it, Andy's directing it. I was like, yeah, I'm in no matter what. But yeah, I thought the take was great, and I thought Dwayne Johnson was an amazing choice for how to reimagine it, because he called it a reimagining, and I don't know, I still don't know where the origin of the concept of the reimagining has come from. because Disney does it a lot. They're not remakes. They're generally speaking reimagined versions of the original films. But I don't know if that started with Disney or that had been done elsewhere in terms of remakes. I mean, it's something I'd love to kind of research and
but I think you said you've not seen the 90s remake of Witch Mountain, right?
The one that was on television, no.
Right. No. Okay.
No, I have not. I heard it was unwatchable.
It was bad. It was bad.
The people who, my friends and in the business have said, "Oh my God, I can't even believe they did that. It was just so awful." So I just didn't even bother. Yeah, right. I've never, and I should, just out of curiosity.
I think one day we'll have to do it. We'll have to watch it, force ourselves to watch it, and do an episode on it.
Yeah,
side by side.
But no, I mean, I think there's no greater nod to the the popularity of a movie than having anyone want to remake it or reimagine it. So for me, my gosh, I got my cake. I got to eat it too, and the whole 9 yards, and to get a chance to appear in it, it was just awesome. Yeah,
I thought you and Kim were fantastic in that. I really did. I thought that was so much fun.
We had so much fun. That's for another show. We need to do another show about that.
Yes.
Even that whole experience was just extraordinary. It really was.
Yes, we'll have to save that for another show.
Okay.
So then what's the one go-to? You said the one go-to that you have for holiday movies.
Oh, the number one that I have to go to is The Bishop's Wife, always.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's it. But see, all of these are go-tos for me now, the ones that I listed, because it's this time of year, and every weekend we want to watch 2 or 3 or 4 of these movies over the weekend. I don't do them every day like you, because I can't multitask that well. I can't even listen to music while I'm writing or working. It's just
music is a must for me. So
no, I can do that. I can do that when I have brainless work to do. But if I'm really seriously using my brain on something, it just becomes a distraction because it pulls me out. It's like I want to enjoy the music or I want to enjoy the movie, and I'm like, oh, that's right, I got work to do over here. So,
well, I'll say this: like we just talked, I'll have the movies on in the background while I'm doing certain things. Like if I have writing that I don't have to really put all my attention into, I'll do that. It all depends on the type of writing I do. Like, you and I are working on a project together where I have to do a lot of outlining now. I won't have the movie on then, because then I'm paying too much attention. I need to focus on the plot or whatever it is.
Sure.
So then I will have music. I need music because I can't have it in silence. Yeah, I don't like silence all around me while working. So I need some music, maybe on a story, I'll say.
But yeah, I would say, just to run them down again: Die Hard now. This is going to be must watch every year. White Christmas, The Grinch, Elf, Miracle on 34th Street movies, The Holiday, Bishop's Wife, It's a Wonderful Life, and When Harry Met Sally. So there you go.
I think so. In my the 5 that I have to watch every year, I think we've mentioned, When Harry Met Sally, also You've Got Mail, Love Actually, and I think also Die Hard, which I've already did complete the Die Hard one. That's 4. So yeah, and I probably might be Scrooged also.
Yeah,
is for this time of year. The 5 that I must watch every holiday season.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, I have so many that I put in also. But yeah, everyone, let us know. Let us know in the comments what you guys watch. What what you like, what you don't like. What if we missed anything? For sure, I want to get new recommendations. Like Ike said, if there's anything that
absolutely
in there that I would love. I love holiday movies, so put them in and we'll watch them. But happy holidays to you, and happy holidays to you, Ike.
Hey, you too. Happy holidays. It's a wonderful time of the year.
Yes, it is.
The most wonderful time of the year.
But again, we thank you. Happy holidays to all the viewers. We thank you for watching. We've had so much fun doing this so far, and So hopefully we'll continue to do this a lot longer. And but again, we can't do it without you. Thank you very much. And as always, please subscribe. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Pop Culture Retro, where no one was hurt during the making of this podcast.